there's nothing that epitomizes the imminence of Shadow more than this scene of Shadow saying, "It smells." One, we know that Sid is just role-playing and thinking everyone is just playing along with the shenanigans. Two, the over-the-top reaction of Shadow Garden spraying perfume all over their body, which is super comical. And three, it comedically satirizes a serious scene while being, at the same time, a legitimate plot in a serious moment. I f***ing miss this goddamn show. This is amazing. If you guys haven't caught up to the Imminence of Shadow, please do so right now. Animes like One Punch Man and The Imminence of Shadow cannot be fully appreciated unless you've seen enough anime in your life. So please go out there and watch tons of anime. Come back to this one and watch it so you can enjoy it at the highest peak. But that doesn't mean that this anime isn't a standalone good one, because it is. But the more you understand the tropes and you understand more of the humor, the more satisfying it feels, and it's just chef's kiss. So the beginning scene sets up this ominous next move in the main storyline, which involves the Cult of Diablos. Apparently there's some funny money coming into this Lawless City, and Shadow Garden wants to investigate it. Shadow says that he will handle things by himself, but in reality, he just wants to get some of that money for himself. He then makes up something about this red moon being a thing, and coincidentally, there's this 1,000 year in the making Blood Queen vampire deal that ends up being the main plot of the episode. Besides the entire Shadow Garden scene being incredibly funny, it sets up an arc where we get to see Shadow operate overtly within the arc. Here, he's basically inserting himself right in the middle of the plot this time, and that's something we haven't really seen in the anime just yet. He usually just comes at the end, trolls, teaches a lesson before he drops a nuke on a bad guy. So this brings an entirely different kind of perspective where the OP MC gets to perform more within the plot than we've previously seen in season 1. Another fun trope like thing that this anime does is flipping between Sid and his alter ego Shadow. For Shadow, he plays like this vigilante character that beats up and kills bad guys. For Sid, he gets to perform more of those NPC, slice of life, character development. For other characters, he gets to perform more in like a normal person role. And that's what makes this anime fun for watching the MC, that he gets to be two different kind of characters and they get to explore both things. For this episode, Sid continues being this NPC little brother of Claire Kagano, whom the anime has toyed with for some scenes, playing off this sister complex trope. Like, not this one, but this one. God, anime culture is so weird, guys. So, number 1, at the beginning of the episode, we are teased with this plot and lore that Shadow will insert only himself into the plot, which is located in this grimy ass city, the Lawless City, to investigate the Cult of Diablos. And for some reason where finances, funny money is moving around for whatever reason. After seeing a redheaded character in Iris Midgar taking one of the biggest L's a redheaded anime character has ever taken by Mundane Man, our favorite violent sister, Claire Kagano, has taken this opportunity to take the dub by winning the Bushin Festival. Fast forward to the Lawless City, Claire has literally dragged Sid's booty to the city to go to some Dark Knight unofficial meeting and to help Sid beat the crap out of some vamps to boost Sid's resume up, because that's what creepy violent sisters do. She is just trying to look out for Sid, so Sid one day can put down his resume so he could go get a nice job, hopefully to be a Dark Knight. Earlier in the episode, we get to see throwaway side character tropes. Goldie, Gilded, and Quentin explain a little bit more of the plot and also give us one of the best punchlines in this episode, or maybe in the whole series ever. The bros literally rolled up to slay the Blood Queen, only to skip entirely any scenes of them getting slashed up by this racist white devil, and the tables turn and they end up being the slaves. I guess that would make sense, right? Sometimes you just gotta appreciate the setup and the delivery of the punchline. So after the slave master tries to sell Goldie and Quentin to Claire, Claire denies the offer to purchase these two bums like she already has her own bum to take care of. This, guys, right now in this episode is where things get really interesting. The pacing in the middle episode went kind of quick right here, but it makes a lot of sense later. It skips to Sid roaming the streets of the Lawless City. Sid is supposed to be chilling safely in the inn while she's at this dark night unofficial meeting thing, association thing. This is where the learning lesson of the episode kicks in. Every arc in every episode should have their own learning lesson. While showing the humor of Sid in this scene, it showed Sid being pickpocketed by randoms in the streets, but Sid just ends up pickpocketing the pickpocketers. And he ends up mentioning several times how the world is a dog-eat-dog world. People are taking money from him and he's just taking it back from him. Apparently the real saying is dog eats dog world. Sorry guys, that sounds stupid. It's a dog-eat-dog world. The learning lesson is it's a dog-eat-dog world, meaning the world is competitive, ruthless, and a cutthroat world. And where are we? We are in the Lawless City, baby, where anything goes. Thievery, killings, and a bunch of hoes. It's all here. And the episode continues on to provide metaphors exactly for this dog-eat-dog world in the perfect setting. Guys, I just love the writing in this episode. After Sid pickpockets the people pickpocketing him, he comes across this lowling ghoul getting bullied in an alleyway by a few people. So apparently these lowling ghouls, their sole purpose in the city is to essentially be the punching bag for these kinds of people. It's a dog-eat-dog world, right? Who do you guys think these ghouls represent? I'll let you guys come up with that on your own. But this is where the plot starts to unfold and the lore of this 1,000 years in the making of this red moon buffing the crap out of these ghoul zombie creatures start to unfold. The moon gets red as hell and these ghouls get buff as hell. So these ghouls end up becoming these buffed up FU zombies and turns one of the bullies into another ghoul, and another redheaded anime waifu enters the fold to save poor Sid. She ends up calling herself Mary, the ancient vampire hunter. The funny thing about this entire scene is Sid deliberating what his next step was regarding how he'll handle the ghouls. Be the NPC Sid, or be Shadow, the vigilante. After Mary saves Sid, Mary hits Sid with a host of the best cliche lines that are perfect for the scene, and we all know these words without knowing them. Shinitake nakereba nigero, bousou ga hajimaru, tsuki ga akai, mou jikan ga nai. It was in this moment when I knew our MC orgasm. Mary flies away into the red moon and Sid is like, holy shit, this is going to be the best plot ever, and he's gonna go along with it. Scenes shift again and Claire goes looking for Sid in the inn, but bro's not there, and we get another fun gag character scene with Scale and Poe. Scale and Poe are tropes used to make fun of tropes that they represent, and this might be one of their better moments of the entire show. What can Scale and Poe do that's really funny? What's the bare minimum thing that a guy wants? Guys want to get laid. And what's the best way to make Scale and Poe do a funny scene based on that? Not getting laid. Somebody please, hopefully by the end of the show, Scale and Poe gets to have a W. Now we get introduced with one of the more serious moments in the episode. What's in a lawless city? Brothels. And what do brothels contain? Ghoulish old dirty men and whores. So this brothel worker, Marie, got plowed one too many times, and then she's laying on her bed and hearing all this commotion. She's wondering what the hell is going on. Then a ghoulish old fat dude tries to get something more than a nut, and plap! Shadow comes in to save her, and he gives her those classic lines. Run if you value your life. The frenzy has begun. The moon is red. We're out of time. And he dips out towards the moon just like Mary. It was in this moment, it wasn't about orgasms anymore. It was a revelation of this horseshit. This whole scene in Marie being a brothel worker is a direct representation of that dog-eat-dog world. And what does Shadow do for Marie? Gives her a little bit of a learning lesson, right? And then one of the next scenes was a parody of a scene we all understand quite well. It's the scene of I lost my loved one scene. So the more connection we have to the death of the character, the harder it hits. In this case, Claire's clutching a dead body of Sid. Except it's not Sid. Mary shows up and is like, I think I came across your bum brother, and that one is not it. He's probably where the plot is at the Crimson Tower, where the resurrection of the Blood Queen is going to occur. They're probably going to take his booty and sacrifice it. Both chicks team up and become teammates to stop the Blood Queen and to save Sid as they both make their way there. After this scene, we get introduced with a few new characters, minions of vamp dudes trying to revive the Blood Queen, the Brute, that is the Juggernaut, the Nine-Tailed Fox Girl, Yukime. So they are two of the rulers, and then the Blood Queen is one of the other rulers. They're all competing in this city, and they all defend their own towers or some shit. And then we have another scene with one of the Dark Knight Association unofficial people or whatever. We all know jokes come in threes, so Shadow shows up to save one of these Dark Knight associates. So he hits her with Mary's classic lines again. Eventually, all these characters convene at the Crimson Tower, where Shadow does one of the least stealthy things he's ever done in the show. It inserts himself right in the middle of a fight between Yukime and Juggernaut, right in front of the Crimson Tower. Then we get to see Shadow Guard look on for a moment, and we get a small little tease of the newer look of Rose Oriana, and that is where the episode ends. What wraps a bow on top for me for this episode is it's that doggy dog world lesson. You have three rulers competing in this lawless city: Juggernaut, Yukime, and the Blood Queen. That in itself is a trope. You know, you guys ever watch Yu Yu Hakusho? You had like that last king arc where those three demon kings are fighting to become the ruler of the demon world. And then, I mean, if you guys ever played Dynasty Warriors, that's like it too. If you guys ever watched any of my previous Imminence and Shadow videos, you guys know how much I talk about Shadow or Sid teaching other characters a lesson, giving them character development, giving them growth. In this episode, he kind of teaches Marie inadvertently that she could do a little bit more in her life from him showing up to save her. It was unintentional, but he did save her. To me, guys, this episode is perfection for the Imminence and Shadow. If you love this kind of humor and you enjoy this kind of humor and you get the humor, you will absolutely love this show. What can I say, guys? This is my favorite anime. I don't know what else to say. Let me know what you guys think about this episode. I cannot wait for the next episode. Apparently, this season 2 is supposed to be better than season 1. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but if it blows my expectations out the water and if it continues the pace it's on, it's going to be a very good season. So I love this anime. I love everything it's about. I love all the things that they make fun of. And I still enjoy the plot. I enjoy what the characters are doing. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com. I am writing reviews again on that blog of this anime. So go ahead and check that out. I promise you it's good. And I appreciate you guys watching. And I'll see you guys on the next video.